last of all, we have Yahoo Sports Read and React, brought to you by Yahoo Sports. Trending, Manfred. Marlins COVID outbreak, not nightmare scenario. Yeah, because they didn't actually give it to the Phillies. And, meh. Zion back with Pelicans on Wednesday. No trade. Niners and Mostert reach agreement. Washington puts Alex Smith on PUP list. Fauci has a baseball card, and it's already set a record. So ridiculous. The lead. What now? Are they making the baseball look like a coronavirus particle? That's fucked up. And gross. By Jay Hart. Well, if you had day 5 for when MLB would suffer a coronavirus outbreak, winner, winner, chicken dinner. The Miami Marlins are now the new patient zero, the Rudy Goberts, if you will, in America's return to team sports. A dozen or so Marlins players and coaches have tested positive for the coronavirus, bringing their season to at least a temporary standstill. And it's not just baseball. Michigan State announced 20 more positives across its athletic department, while the Minnesota Vikings have had 2 rookies plus a staffer test positive. This is the new, unsurprising reality. Yeah, so just fucking move on. Let them, if they're sick, if they actually feel sick, let them get better at home. And if they're not, if they're asymptomatic, let them go about their jobs. Major League Baseball says it's pushing on despite the cancellation of several games, which will probably anger some, but it's not a shock. It was always a matter of when, not if. And if MLB was going to pack up and go home on the first outbreak, why even start? So here we are a few days in, and what's next? Here's a shallow dive into some of the deeper questions our Henry Bushnell posed to epidemiologists. Should the Marlins keep playing? Easy answer, experts say, no. Just stop. Stop listening to those fuckers. Because it's not their job to consider all angles. It's not their job to consider the good of the country in terms of economy and morale. They're just looking at the disease, and their point of view is to not spread the disease. But there are other things to consider. Some recommend a full 14-day quarantine. Others say 5 days at the very least, with 7 to 10 days a more responsible length. That means no games, no contact with one another whatsoever. As of now, MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred says the Marlins could play Wednesday. Should MLB let the Phillies, the Marlins' weekend opponent, keep playing? The risk that members of the Phillies contracted the virus from the Marlins isn't zero, but it's certainly lower than if this were football. That said, to be fully in the clear, experts recommend the Phillies be put in a 5-day quarantine to eliminate most, not all, doubt. Oh my goodness. Is the MLB season doomed? Experts and non-experts alike are increasingly concerned. I think it's quite likely that there are plenty of other teams that are going to have similar problems, one expert said. They rolled the dice, and now this is what they're getting. In the absence of a bubble, another said, with widespread community transmission, I think the MLB is a pretty striking case of how an outbreak can happen really fast. Oh, brother. Should the Marlins outbreak worry the NFL and other non-bubble sports? Absolutely, experts Yahoo Sports talked to said unanimously. The speed with which this virus moved through the clubhouse in an MLB team astounded me, one expert said. It's off the charts in terms of what I expected. It's really bad. Oh my goodness. If even baseball, which is a much more socially distanced sport, cannot make it past a couple days without having an outbreak among 13 people associated with one team, I do not think that bodes well for the NFL or college football, said another. Just make them stay away from old people. It'll be fine. Wetzel, all of sports now facing some hard questions after outbreak. Greenwald, explore the NBA's Disney World bubble in 3D. Thamel, what college football can learn from Marlon's mess? We said we'd watch any football, but this is pushing it. Here's a clip from the CW's All-American, a TV show obviously more faithful to drama than football. Any quarterback throwing a lollipop like this would see it end in a pick six. Any receiver who stopped in the middle of a route like this would get plastered. Still, it's football. We'll take what we can get. What? Yeah, that was weird. Follow Yahoo Sports on social. And that's it for Sundry Sports. Thank you and goodbye.